Welcome to another episode of Live With It. I am Sarah Lane, and this is the show where the DTNS family of folks lives with a gadget, a service, a product over a long enough period of time that we get a really solid, honest feel about how we feel about living with it. The good and the bad. There's always good, and sometimes there's bad. Joining me today is Jenn Cutter. Hi, Jenn.
Hi, Sarah.
So, Jenn, you and I talked about the reMarkable 2 back in January of 2021. Do you remember that?
Oh,
seems like
vaguely.
a lifetime ago.
It really, really does.
What we thought we would do, and what we want to do with a variety of products that we've been talking about on the show, is kind of circle back on certain stuff that we've been living with more than 3 months. That's kind of our barometer for new stuff. But it's now been going on 5 years. So I remember at the time you were very interested in the reMarkable 2, which I was as well, but maybe for different reasons. So I'll remind everybody about what the reMarkable 2 is. This is an e-ink tablet. There is no backlight, so very much something that you need to use within light. And it is very much designed for people who sketch out stuff, journal, using a stylus, which it has. It has a stylus, and need to annotate PDFs, all sorts of stuff that you would have a notebook for. It's a notebook, but for the modern era.
So, Sarah, are you still using the reMarkable 2?
Okay, so yes, the answer is yes. For anybody who's unfamiliar with the product, it has changed in price a bit over the years. It was $3.99 and then it was $2.99. I think they were trying to sell more. Now it's back to $3.99 to start. Again, if you get the tablet, the pen that has the eraser, you're going to pay a little bit more. So let's say $400, give or take. That's a lot of money. What does it do for you? Well, if you are somebody who, again, takes lots of notes, maybe you think better if you're taking notes with your hand. It can convert those notes into text to then, send to somebody else later, or, have for yourself later. That works really well. I mean, unless you're writing totally crazy, it understands, your cursive type thing. So that's cool. Annotating PDFs, you might never do this. If you I don't know, work as a tax attorney, maybe you do this every day. I do this occasionally, but this is the easiest way to just be like, yep, here's my signature, bye. That works well. And just sort of free form stuff. I mean, you can draw on it. You can make art if you want to. So those are, I think, kind of the big things that I have enjoyed with the reMarkable 2. reMarkable has 2 new products now. It's the Paper Pro and the Paper Pro Move. Those are color e-ink. This is not. So that's something for people to consider. The Paper Pro is the same size, but just, color, and also has a backlight. The Move is small. It's like a tiny little notepad.
Like an e-reader kind of size?
Yeah. Well, a small e-reader. Definitely like a Kindle, the Kindle Oasis. That's what I have. So that's something to consider. Those are a little pricier, obviously, because you're, getting other things. But not everybody cares about color. For example, I don't really. When it comes to writing stuff down, taking notes, having a meeting, that sort of stuff, I think color is cool, But I also have never had a Kindle, for example, that had color e-ink. I've never had a e-ink anything that had color. So I'm sort of like blissfully unaware. So that's kind of where we are right now. What I do think is amazing about the reMarkable is it. So for if you're just you have one in your lap, getting started, there are a variety of templates that you can open, and you're sort of like, well, like what kind of templates? You know, it's like all sorts of templates, not unlike what you would find in Google Drive. It is designed to help you kind of work better. So there's that. It is very lovely. Again, in a dark room, it's not going to be lovely because you can't see. There's no backlight, but it feels very much like holding a notebook. And I say that not only because it's very light and thin, which it is, but it just writing on it feels very natural. It doesn't feel weird at all. And I was worried that it would. So that's kind of where I'm at. And when you are, I mentioned Google Drive. It works with Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, Microsoft, obviously. If you have files that you are going back and forth from, between your computer, your mobile phone, your reMarkable, that sort of thing, works like a dream. Very easy to do. So that's that. What I will say, and this is kind of my nitpick back in 2021, is it's not really internet connected. It is to the point that you are definitely sharing files over a Wi-Fi connection. And it's easy to bring in stuff that is compatible with the reMarkable. But it's not like, you're not like surfing the internet.
Yeah, like for people like me who have been hesitant to spend the money, I never wanted an iPad because it just feels weird when you write on it. I'd been skeptical of color e-ink because of the speed's not there yet. It's slow and I write pretty fast and I want to see that the writing showed up. I don't want to have to write and wait because that just feels like you're writing on dial-up and nobody enjoys that. So what I have been doing in the meanwhile before investing is I have an ancient Wacom tablet, just a bamboo. So if I'm writing on my main PC, I can just write on that in Microsoft Journal, which also has templates, by the way. And then I have a ThinkPad X220, which is my main writing thing, which heavy as heck. It's not comfortable, but it's a really great surface for writing on because it was designed for that. And I have it on Linux now, so I have tons of apps to write in and draw in and use with Infinity and all of those art programs. So that's why I've not like felt the need to like go for one of the notebook style things because, it's an investment. You need to be sure that you want one. And it's tricky when you order online because you don't know if you want one till you have one. Because then you like when you got one, you were like really happy with the form factor and it feels pretty good.
Totally. Yeah. No, I think that's all true. And back in 2021, January, I think we all remember, still height of COVID, nobody was like having a lot of in-person meetings. And, at least for me, it's like, I was like, my life hasn't changed that much because I live online, right? So I don't have a lot of in-person anything day to day. But I think for somebody who maybe wasn't doing that at the time, but is now more, this could be a great product for you. If you I don't know, are sitting in person with folks and just kind of sketching out stuff or, writing down notes, that would be a great use for this if you want to, again, get rid of your physical notebooks, like you have, Jen, and all the pens laying around. It's perfect for that. If you're sort of like, I don't know, I don't really write things down all that often, Well, then you can use it as an e-reader. It is not the best e-reader, I will say this.
Oh, really?
Well, because it doesn't support DRM ebooks. So you can get around that. I know this for a fact because I tried. But just knowing how it's meant to be used is not really as an ebook. Works fine if you can get around that stuff, and many of you like to tinker around, all good. But it's not set up for that. It's very much set up as it's a notebook that is for work and for sort of play or dreaming.
Right. So since 2021, tech has moved forward. There's a whole bunch of new products out there. Have you seen anything that would make you want to upgrade? Something out there that isn't color that makes you go, hey, that'd be really handy for me?
Gosh, I don't think so. Honestly, I really don't. I feel like the reMarkable 2 is very good at what it does. Very good. I mean, impressive. And there are a lot of features that I'm not even mentioning that are just kind of deep in the ecosystem. It's great. If you are like, no, I want something with color. Well, you could get the Paper Pro, which also reMarkable makes. And as you mentioned, Jen, there are other options, but I don't really care about that. I'm like, my phone has color. My computer has color. It's cool. It's not something I'm clamoring for.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I could write on my phone better, but I can type on my phone faster and then just do like the finger paint for when I need boxes and flowcharts. But yeah, because there's the Amazon Kindle Scribe, which starts at $3.99 US for the 16 gig and $4.19 for the 64 gig model. And for the Canadians out there, or people importing, there's a Kobo Ellipsa 2E, which starts at $4.99 Canadian, and that one has like the stylus, the tips. It does all the standard notebook stuff, and because it's a Kobo, you can do all of your ebook stuff on it. And like that's up in my alley because I have an older Kobo. I do like the ecosystem in that it's really simple to get around for things that you want to get around on it, but $499.99 is a lot, and I would rather spend that on gaming or computer parts.
I mean, I guess you kind of like, I don't know, you're looking at, my dashboard here on the reMarkable. I guess you have to factor in, how much are you going to use this thing? How often are you going to use it? And for how long? $500. The reMarkable 2 is, we're more at the 400 range. There's also a subscription model called Connect that is meant to help you connect the reMarkable to your computer, your mobile device, Slack, etc. And that is a monthly fee. I don't pay for that. I have a reMarkable app on my other devices where I can send files back and forth as long as we're on the same Wi-Fi network. But it's a little, it's a little bit limited. That's fine for me. So that's something else to think about. And for anybody who's just not familiar with this at all, USB-C connection, it's about, I would say, about 2 weeks of battery life when fully charged. To the point where
my e-reader gets, so that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's if you're using it constantly all day, every day, maybe a little bit less, but it's very good battery life. And it charges pretty quick. In fact, it was dead yesterday because I haven't used it in a couple weeks. And I knew we were going to talk about it. So, yeah, charged it up in, a few hours.
Well, I have one critical question, which is how is the screen after writing on it for all of this time? Because this was one of my concerns where it starts getting scratchy and you can see lines on it. It doesn't take the ink so well.
It's pristine. Okay. Literally. I mean, it's like it's It's like it's never been used, honestly. And I mean, I'm not like using a knife on it or anything, right? But no, it's it feels like it is brand new to me every time I use it. And I don't need to sign a document every day of my life, but I am telling you, I mean, for anybody who's like, what's the other option besides Adobe Acrobat Reader? This is, I mean, it just makes signing something so seamless. It's so easy and it works so well. And I've only read one novel like in its entirety on the reMarkable 2. And it was fine. It was great. Worked out great. Again, there's no backlight, so you just, you need to be in your own light, but that's cool. And that's well, because I have a Kindle, so I have other options. But if you wanted to use this as an all-in-one productivity, journaling, annotation, just kind of sketching out stuff, work stuff, and e-reader, with the caveat that the e-reader part will take a little fancy footwork on your part, this can be an all-in-one device. But you have to know that your internet connectivity is limited.
All right. So now we know what is up. And as always, we're going to keep an eye on the space because this is a thing that we will continue to be interested in because I'm not giving up writing by hand ever.
No, me either. And, us lefties, we got to do it. That's how our brain works. All right, everybody. That is it for this episode of Live With It. Jenn Cutter, thank you so much for being with us. Let folks know where they can keep up with the rest of your work.
Well, the best place to do is actually on Blue Sky. So jenncutter.bsky.com.
Indeed. If you enjoy our show, Live With It, please remember we can only do shows like this with your continued support, and we appreciate it so much. You can join us on Patreon. If you're not already a patron, find out more at patreon.com/DTNS to learn more. Until next time, I'm Sarah Lane, and you've been watching Live With It.